Why do some girls say they hate hookups and are tired of them yet continue to do it? I'm a guy and I don't hook up. I've turned down probably 10 to 15 people for it because it's not what my values lie with. I always wait to have with people until at least a few dates in so the person I'm dating is comfortable and will enjoy it. This actually has proven to work really well for me and results in probably 80 to 90% of the people I meet to want to continue going. I found from several of the girls I date that they're so tired of hookups and being used for. Which 100% makes sense, and I totally get that because I hate hookups too. Yet some of these women just keep hooking up and are miserable from it. I've kept in touch with most of the women I stopped dating because we usually end things on good terms. Several of them have told me that they're so tired of all the hookups most guys seem to try for and they just do it with them anyways. So basically I'm just confused why. I know plenty of girls who value intimacy and have said no to plenty of hookups, yet I've met others who just keep doing it even though they despise it.
Think about all the things that people say they are tired of, yet continue to do. Lol, how about, I'll never drink again. Just because you are tired of it, doesn't mean you dislike it. Hooking up has its own set of dopamine dumps that people long for. There is some excitement to the spontaneity of hooking, the novelty wears off. But it works like a drug. People know things aren't good for them, and still do it. It's part of the human experience. Lol.
Because every single time they think it'll go somewhere with that guy, but they get dumped and it feels miserable later on. So they are tired of it, but the cycle continues.
It takes a long time to attain a committed partner and very little time to find a partner. So, we might turn to hookups when we're particularly lonely, or just.
It's called endless hope.
There are some women who legitimately like hooking up, so my comment isn't talking about that group. I think some women have gotten in the cycle of hooking up with guys because that's what they believe they have to do. They might not like it at all, but they feel stuck. Their experiences have aligned, whether in true reality or just their frame of mind, with the expectation of, men just want to hook up, so it's hard for them to behave outside that rulebook. Men sometimes lie about wanting a relationship and then ghost women after they finally put out.
People like but they want more. It's that simple, really.
Because 95% of hookups are terrible in bed, but you're always hoping to find that 5% that actually is good.
First, thank you for wanting to get to know someone first. Second, your type is very rare. Guys typically try to get on the first date. A lot of women think that if they have with them, then it will turn into a relationship, and when one doesn't work out, they are thinking that they will keep trying this way until finally one dude sticks. It is a horrible way of dating or finding a life partner. However, in their defense, then men are often telling him things that make them think they want a relationship too, when they really don't. Over 47 years, I've had men number one ask me to be his girlfriend on the first date. That turned out to be just him wanting As soon as I gave it to him, he no longer wanted to take me on dates. Number 2, expensive or overly romantic first dates. Number 3, saying things like I've never met someone so beautiful as you, talking about kids and marriage. One and on. Personally, I don't do anything without a date and I wait to have. But sometimes it feels like no guy wants to date. So thank you for being not like the other divorced. But when I got married, I had a lot of friends that were getting married too. When we shared our stories of finding the one to marry, they were all practically the same. First, we were single and trying to find the one through hookups. It gave us low self-esteem and we had terrible boyfriends that treated us badly that we had to break up with over and over. Then one day when we were sick of the heartbreak, we decided, I won't put up with bad treatment anymore. And that we were worth more than just a one-night stand. We looked for men like you who gave a about our lives and thoughts, etc. And once we focused on that, we found our husbands. But just it can be very hard to say no to the bad ones. I think it's our estrogen that says, must bond and have kids. Now, it is a very powerful force for us. If we have just once, our bodies actually release the same chemical as when we give birth. It is the chemical that says, bond right now, to make sure the mom feeds the baby, etc. It's hard for us to let go of a loser after we had with them. It's why in studies, women have shown to cope with breakups poorly as compared to men.
I meet them all over. Some in person, some online. Some guys are patient and still leave.
If a girl's dating profile says something like, "If you just want to hook up, move on," it 100% means she has had a lot of hookups and will hook up again. 100% guaranteed, like when Brer Rabbit said, "Don't throw me into the briar patch."
Sometimes, like men, women get lonely and just want the physical contact that comes along with and then feel emotionally unfulfilled afterwards. Plus some men are deceptive mofos who will do and say what it takes to get laid and then vanish faster than Casper.
Just assume anyone on dating apps has at least one FWB they're hooking up with regularly. People just get lonely. Being used for a hookup is better than nothing. We just continue to around in the meantime while searching for the right person. Not a woman, but I also have a FWB, but we have absolutely zero connection outside of just a regular friendship. Obviously that's not for everyone, but is great for your mental and physical health, and as long as it's mutual everyone wins.
Survey self-esteem.
It's a terrible addiction for them. There's an element of fear of losing the relationship if they don't give in. There's an element of requiring validation that they are attractive. It ties into their self-worth. These are all elements of an addiction to something they don't want but feel compelled to be clear. Op asked about girls who don't like hookups but continue to engage in them.
Lol, I just made a post about this. In my case, guys, the guys are liars and will say anything to get what they want.
Exactly. Never eating Taco Bell at midnight.
This is what kept happening to like 97% of the time. The guy would lie and say they wanted SP mething more till they got and ditched.
Additionally, this causes some cynicism, so some people take what they can get. As a man, when I was single, I'd go on some dates hopeful of a relationship only to hear, "I'm moving in 3 months," or, "I actually just got out of something serious," and other code words for casual, short term. And when I was younger and more attention starved, I would acquiesce fairly easily.
Yeah, that's very true. I guess eventually people learn. And I've found the older I've gotten, the more women start coming to guys who will not just jump straight into on the first date.
And then you find the one who is great in bed, and after hooking up he politely tells you he don't want to date you. But the is so good and he was honest and respectful, so I decided I wanted to keep him as a FWB.
This, for me, waiting a couple dates shows I respect the person I'm with. And yeah, some girls will continue to date really guys. But the older I get, the more I begin to find women are sick of being treated badly, and all of a sudden, me being respectful actually means something to people. And besides, waiting is great because it turns into more than you will get from hookups. And I love so I just want it all the time with one person. Even the most wild hookup people I have met have never slept with more than 50 people in a year. In a year in a relationship I have 4 to 6 times that much, so I just prefer it so much more. Not to mention you get to do fun with someone you love, just such a better way to spend your life, and I wish more people saw this. Meaning, like, some guys wait for then get it and just leave right after? This probably happens way more than people realize actually.
If you're having it is no longer a regular friendship. You're investing sexually into the relationship. Like, is that what you want your future partner to bring to the table when you meet? It's a regular friendship, with someone she is. Ick.
I'll never the bed, loudly crying tears of joy.
I started seeing a guy last year and it was obvious he wanted a relationship, and with me. Both of us were shocked at how similar we were in so many ways. After the second time we hooked up, when saying goodbye he made a joke, "Haha, now I got what I want." Pretty much 2 days later he was pulling the, "I don't want a relationship," then gaslit me over my reaction. I only hooked up with him because I wanted a relationship with him and felt comfortable enough to do so. A lot of the time we're manipulated into thinking they want a relationship, until they get what I forgot to add, he was in a relationship with someone else just 3 months after he told me he didn't want a relationship. Yep, what a kicker, eh?
I don't understand the and dump thing. If you got a girl who's letting you hit, why not keep hitting that? TF.
Have you tried not having early on and waiting for a bit? Genuinely curious.
Is a love language and a healthy part of my relationship goals. That said, I have been led on.
lied to and manipulated with. Our goal is a monogamous long-term relationship, until we have. Then the feedback is, I'm not looking for anything serious, maybe in a month or few, and a couple other lines. I learn the lessons and the experience is different every time. Having the same result is painful.
That's fair. Just don't get mad at him if he doesn't change his mind about not wanting a relationship.
Amber Heard, 2022.
Wait, what?
That's so uncool. Look of triumph.
Too much options, they find themselves with a big pool to choose from, spoiled by choice. It's the issue. It goes both ways unfortunately. I don't agree with it, but I can play devil's advocate and see why men and women once they get it choose to try even more until they are fully in sync with someone.
I don't get it either. Even when I have multiple options, I don't want that. I just want one person I really like.
If there's anything I've learned, it doesn't matter how beautiful or wonderful you are. If you aren't right for someone, nothing will make them treat you right.
It's taken me nearly a year to get him, but what I had felt. I felt safe and confident we were a near perfect match. I felt like I was in a rom-com due to how easily we hit it off. After hours of prying and arguing, he finally admitted it was because he moved too fast, slept together on the first date, was talking about meeting his family and the future. Which, to me, still doesn't make sense because of how compatible we were. It just flowed naturally. Thinking about it still either makes me really mad, or extremely sad. I just still feel like it's hopeless I'll ever find someone like that again, hopeless that it'll actually stick. When I was upset about it, he gave me a day to get over it, then started getting mad. It was only 2 was much deeper than that.